Good morning, good morning, good morning, Petunia Preschool. David really wanted me to sing, right?
My brain fell out.
Oh, this is what happens when you don't get to go to school for so long. Your brain falls out.
No, it didn't fall out. I just didn't need it anymore. So
You just don't need your brain anymore when you're not going to school. Hey, careful. Drop up my coffee.
I also
Here, get over here so they can see
I also
it.
took my other brain out.
His smaller brain.
The gray one that is.
This is what
useless.
before when he was going to school.
And then after.
And then after, when he goes back to school, this is what our brain will look like, right? Mine too. Before, after. Just kidding.
That's actually what it. This is actually about as big as the brain. A brain. Actually.
Is it?
Yeah, that's how big your this is how big my brain is.
So go like this, and that's how big your brain is?
Yeah. See?
My brain's bigger than that.
Yeah, but my brain
Nice
is
big brain.
about as big as that.
Your brain's bigger than that, too. All right, what do you want to show before we read a story?
You read the story first.
Read the story first? Okay, I got our printer bag of Disney books. Actually, I also brought some other books from the preschool this morning. Because David, are you going to read one with Daddy?
Yeah, can I just make some cereal?
David's daddy's work is on the computer. They're doing something at today where everybody can bring their kids and have their kids or the grown-ups read a story. And I think David is going to read a story.
No, I'm not going to read it.
Oh, his daddy's going to read it? I suggested Creepy Pair of Underwear.
No!
But David acts like he doesn't like that story. It's still one of my favorites.
I don't.
Are you going to pick a book or should I? This one? Oh, I think I know. Cinderella. It is one of my favorites. Oh, David, pick up the chair or use the stool. Okay, you gotta put that back when you're done.
I know.
All right, Cinderella. Hope you guys okay. It's Friday. The day that I'm doing this video, it's Friday.
Can I open these Kashis?
Let me do it so you don't shred the bag.
No, Mommy, just because this one, I think I'm gonna have to do a 3 mix.
No,
Because look.
just use the rest of that and one other kind. Just
No, you know what? Mommy, I won't shred the bag.
nope. You get 2 kinds or 0 kinds.
2 kinds.
Okay. What was I saying? It's Friday.
Look, I won't shred the bag. Watch. This is how you open a cereal bag. Pinch those parts like you pinch them like that, and bring that lid up, and then.
That's the box, and you shredding it. Oh, shredded it.
Last time I didn't.
shred it.
Last time I didn't. Last time I did open it. I told you I wouldn't
Let
shred
me
it.
do this part.
Oh, I know how to open this.
Oh, just like no, don't pull it all the way out of the box, Neanderthal.
I know how to open it.
Oh my gosh, did you wash your hands?
You mommy Neanderthal.
Wait, oh my God, relax. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, it's no, I'm not mad at you. It's it's Friday. David is feeling
Hyper.
It's sunny right now. This is my daily weather report. It's sunny outside right now, but the weather app says that it's gonna get rainy today. I hope not. I want to sit outside today. That's it. What did we do yesterday? Same old thing.
What did you read yesterday?
Yesterday, what did we read yesterday? Brave. Today we're gonna read Cinderella. You guys like Cinderella? It's one of my favorites. Cinderella, the movie, the old Disney movie, was and probably still is one of my favorite, like, older classic Disney movies. Now there's so many new ones. I love a lot of them. Cinderella. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Cinderella. She lived with her stepmother. The stepmother did not like Cinderella.
And her stepmother was mean.
She made her work very hard every day.
Oh, Dad, no. Mean.
Cinderella had two stepsisters. Their names were Drizella and Anastasia. The stepsisters never had to work. They just pranced around the house in their fancy dresses. And they always made fun of Cinderella because her dress was so plain. One day, a letter came to the house. Drizella, Anastasia, cried the stepmother, listen to this. She read the letter. It said, the king is giving a ball tonight. His son, the prince, will choose a wife. Every girl in the kingdom must be there. Another one of these old stories where somebody chooses the wife.
That's mean.
Yeah, it's not how it is. It's just a story. No.
Used to be though. Mommy, if I have a big cereal, I should have a big spoon.
Oh, goodness. Then I can go too, said Cinderella. You, cried the stepsisters, and they laughed and laughed. But it says every girl in the kingdom must be there, said Cinderella. The stepmother smiled and said, of course you may go, Cinderella. You may go if you do your work first, and if you have a dress to wear.
See? Big cereal.
Oh my goodness.
Big spoon.
If Daddy sees the size of that bowl of cereal, he's going to get rid of both of us.
Because
Good Lord, son. You better
Mommy.
get a job to pay for that cereal.
Mommy, it's because these are so big.
No, you don't need to pour that big of a bowl of cereal and eat it with a spoon, not your hands. I can see the veins popping out of my neck.
Are you mad at me?
Oh my gosh.
What? Is that your mad? Mommy, is that your mad face? Are you mad? It was an accident. You should let me.
It was an
You
accident.
shouldn't let me pour my own cereal.
Everything
What
is
can
an
I say?
accident. We don't really need to see and hear you smacking that gallon of cereal. Jeez Louise. Excuse me, I almost said a naughty word. Okay, anyway. Any hoozle McDoozle. Any who's McDoos.
Oh, it's fat.
Of course you can go, Cinderella. You may go if you do your work first, and if you have a dress to wear. Oh, thank you, said Cinderella, and she ran to her room. So even though the stepmother is not being very nice, Cinderella still has a pretty good attitude.
I don't think Cinderella's dress is that
Eat
bad.
with your mouth closed so you're not smacking, okay? Nobody wants to hear that. Some mice lived in Cinderella's room. There were Cinderella's friends. She had even made little clothes for them. Guess what? She cried. I'm going to ball at the palace. Hooray! Cried the mice. Then she showed them an old dress. It just needs a little mending, said Cinderella, and maybe a sash and some beads to make it pretty. Yes, yes, Cinderella, said the mice. Cinderella, called their stepmother. Cinderella went down the stairs. I want you to clean and wash the windows and dust the drapes, said her stepmother. But I did that yesterday, said Cinderella. Do it again, said the stepmother. Cinderella worked as fast as she could. But there was always one more thing to do. Cinderella, Cinderella, Cinderella. Oh dear, said Cinderella. I will never have time to mend my dress. No, not. They make Cinderella work, 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 said the fat mouse named Gus. She will have no time to fix her dress, said the skinny mouse named Jack. We can do it, cried the mice. We can fix Cinderella's dress. Gus and Jack sneaked into the big room. The stepsisters were dressing for the ball. I don't like this old sash, said Drizella, and she threw it down. I never want to see these beads again, said Anastasia. and she dropped them to the floor. They're not very nice, are they?
Not because they're beads.
Jack grabbed
I don't
the
care about the
sash.
dresses, but I care about the beads.
Gus picked up the beads. They took them to Cinderella's room. Look, we found these, said Gus. Now we can make Cinderella's dress really pretty, said Jack. They measured, they cut, they folded, they sewed. They worked and worked as fast as they could.
Work.
The hours went by quickly. When you're busy, time goes by pretty fast, huh? Cinderella had to help the stepsisters with their dresses. When she was done, the stepmother said, "It's time to go to the ball, girls. Are you ready, Cinderella?" "No," said Cinderella sadly. "I did not have any time to fix my dress." "Too bad," said the stepsisters. "You must learn to work faster." They watched Cinderella go all the way up to her room. Poor Cinderella. When Cinderella opened the door, she saw something wonderful. Her dress was ready. "Surprise!" said the mice. "It's the prettiest dress I've ever seen," said Cinderella, and she put it on. Cinderella ran down the stairs. "Wait," she called. "I can go now. I have a dress." The stepmother and stepsisters could not believe their eyes. Did you want to see?
They all look the same.
"My sash!" cried Drizella. "My beads!" cried Anastasia. They ripped off the sash and pulled off the beads. Cinderella's dress was ruined.
What? They said that they don't like it.
I know, greedy, greedy stepsisters. "Come along, girls," said the stepmother. "The prince is waiting for you." And off they went to the palace. Cinderella was left behind. Look at the mice watching right there. All their hard work.
Ripped up.
Yeah. Cinderella ran into the garden. The mice ran after her. "How I did wish to go to the ball," said Cinderella, "but it's no use. Wishes never come true." "Never, my dear?" said a voice. Cinderella looked up. There was a little woman with a wand. "I am your fairy godmother," she said, "and I'm here to give you your wish."
I wish for everything, please. I wish for a new brain.
"Now let me see," said the fairy godmother. "I need a pumpkin and a horse and a dog. What luck! They are right here. And yes, I will need some mice." When the mice heard this, they began to run. But the fairy godmother stopped them with her wand. "Now for the magic words," she said. "Bibbidi, bobbidi, boo." And I tell you something, when I was a kid and I watched this movie, I always thought it was bippity, boppity, boo. And then when I read this book, it says bibbidi, bobbidi, boo. I had it wrong all my life.
That was bippity boppity.
Bippity, boppity, boo. Bibbidi, boppity, boo. I still think bippity, boppity, boo sounds
That's
better.
bippity boppity booby.
She waved her wand, and the pumpkin turned into a coach. The horse turned into a coachman, and the dog turned into a footman, and the mice turned into white horses.
Wow.
"Now, hop in, my dear," said the fairy godmother. "But my dress," said Cinderella. "Oh my," cried the fairy godmother. "I almost forgot." That'd be fun to ride in something like that. Have you ever rode in something like that, Coach? I've only taken like hay
Oh, that was
wagon
an
rides.
onion. in like the movie, I thought it was an
You
onion.
thought it was an onion? I need an onion.
Yeah, like because it was like an onion or like
She waved her wand again. Cinderella looked down.
artichoke.
Her dress turned into a white gown. Her shoes turned into glass slippers. "Oh, thank you," said Cinderella. Look at how beautiful her gown is. Like, that is pretty fancy compared to the gowns that the stepsisters were wearing, right?
Mm-hmm.
"Now, hop into the coach," said the fairy godmother. But remember, all the magic ends when the clock strikes 12. I won't forget, said Cinderella, and off she went to the palace. There she goes. At the ball, the king was complaining. The prince has met all the girls in the kingdom, he said, and he has not found one he likes. Give him time, said the Grand Duke. He's had enough time, cried the king. Does the king get to pick who he likes? Should it be like that? No. But this is a story, right? I feel like I always need to say that. It's just a story. Cringer, get down.
I know it's
Filthy
not based
beast.
off of true events.
I hope this is not based off of true events, but people should marry who they love, not just get picked. Just then, Cinderella came into the ballroom. When the prince saw her, he bowed. May I have this dance? He asked. Yes, said Cinderella. Here they are. Cringer, go lay down.
Are you gonna start dancing?
Is it breakdancing? All night,
Yeah.
the prince danced only with Cinderella. They danced around the floor as if in a dream.
Look, watch.
Everyone
That's how I
said,
dance.
"Oh, how lovely he is." Everyone said, "Oh, how lovely she is." Who can she be? Careful, you're gonna
It's me.
punch me. Eat your gallon of cereal.
Okay.
Don't ask for any more food today. That's it. The hours went by quickly. Suddenly, the clock began to strike midnight. Cinderella ran down the palace steps. As she ran, she lost a glass slipper. Ever since I was a kid, I've wanted to have a glass slipper to wear.
It's weird how wouldn't we be like walking on it or running on it and then it'd break?
Since it's glass, well, it'd have to be a special kind of glass. When the prince reached the steps, Cinderella was gone. He picked up the tiny glass slipper. The girl who wore this slipper is the girl I want to marry, said the prince. He told the Grand Duke to find her. I want to marry this girl.
No.
Even before Cinderella was home, the magic ended. So, something I always think, and I probably always say it when I'm at school and I read this book, is if the magic ended and everything went back, how come the glass slippers didn't go back to her regular little flats that she was wearing? This is just a story. Just a story. Even before Cinderella was home, the magic ended. The coach turned back into a pumpkin, the coachman turned back into a horse, and the footman turned back into a dog. And there were Cinderella and the mice, just as before. The next day, the Grand Duke took the glass slipper to every house of the kingdom. At last, he came to the house where Cinderella lived. Cinderella was up in her room. Can you not? First, Drizella tried the slipper. Her foot was much too long. Then Anastasia.
In the original story, they chop off their feet.
No, they don't, David.
In the original story, that's how it originally was.
Okay, well, we're not.
Since it wasn't
Hey,
fit, they would chop off their
That
feet.
is not true.
In the original story.
Remember who our audience is. Oh my goodness.
sorry,
What day are
just-
we on? Day 100?
That's the original story.
Stop. Oh my God, I'm going to stop feeding them all together. Her foot was much too wide. I always giggle at you guys when you guys try on the play shoes that we have at school, and sometimes, you know, you guys have grown, just like when you're in the loft sometimes and you stand up and suddenly you bump your head in the loft. And when did that happen? I used to be able to stand in the loft. And it's like, you're growing.
Okay, I can't stand in the loft at all.
Not anymore, but you used to be able to. And
Really?
some of you have been, you know, you've been growing and the shoes used to fit. And then you go to put on the shoes and, you know, your dedication. Talia, I've seen you dedicate yourself to some of those heels. You squeeze your feet in there even though you've grown. When we go back, it's one thing I want to look for is bigger, fancier shoes. I'll be on the
Real
lookout. Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Oh no, real shoes? Like, okay, I thought they were the plastic.
They are, but we also have some old real shoes, but putting on fancy shoes is fun. Okay, are there any other girls in the house? Asked the Grand Duke. No, said the stepmother. Sorry. Just then Cinderella came downstairs. Who is this? Asked the Grand Duke. She is only the maid, said the stepmother. I don't care, said the Grand Duke. She too must try the slipper. Then Cinderella reached in her pocket and pulled out the other glass slipper. The Grand Duke bowed to Cinderella. You are the girl the prince says must marry, said the Grand Duke. So Cinderella went to the palace and she married the prince, and they lived happily ever after. The end. Those old stories always end up like that. Happily ever after. It's just a fairy tale.
Except for the original story.
Don't. Remember, come on. We're not doing a YouTube channel for even your bigger beastly friends probably wouldn't. Not all of them would like that.
No, it's
right,
the thing is, it's like that's.
Hey, Dee, show really quickly because we got school.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And if you're gonna do that thing with Daddy at 12, we need to get your schoolwork done. So quickly.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, excuse me, David. Come on, honey. I'm gonna say goodbye.
Okay, so this is a squishy brain. And, oh wait, no, not squishy. It's like, so you see, it's just a brain and you squeeze it. And it's like a stress reliever and it's slow.
I need that right now. Oh, look, my stress is gone.
No, give me back.
All right, hurry up, quick, show another
Give
one.
me back! Okay, the next thing is this, and this is what I usually squish, because it's harder to squish. Here, try.
Oh, yeah.
This is a real stress reliever.
Now that could be like a hand muscle workout.
This is a real stress reliever. You have to try hard to squish that. The next thing is this puppy. That's Sushi.
Sushi puppy. Squishy sushi puppy. There's a little face. Oh, so cute. Right, quick.
The next thing are... Wait, no, don't show.
Can I put...
No, you don't show. Don't show them. Don't show them. I show them. Here, you can put this one. I'll put this.
So these used to belong to David's. Were all of them Daddy's or just some of them?
Oh.
Hello.
Just hold it back, Daddy.
Hi, friends.
Daddy,
How are you?
Daddy. Woo! Look at this.
David, you get too close. I like this one. You move
My
it
favorite is
around so much.
My favorite is this one because you know what I like to use this one.
I like this. Can I try that one on?
Because when you squish him, he gets all flat. And that's what I like about. I also like this one because he's all like decolored.
Decolored. I think this one used to sit in Daddy's truck window
so he got
when I met him long time ago.
And then one time I was
Cringer,
like,
sit
can
down.
I have that? And you were like, I think I have more.
All right. David, it's time to sign out. Jesse and David.